Ukrainians are an incredibly musical nation. Songs accompanied the most significant events in people's lives: weddings and funerals, folk holidays and rituals. Songs were sung in times of sadness and joy, during work and rest. They were performed to recount glorious historical events and boost morale, during dances and before bedtime. Songs served as a form of unique psychotherapy, literally giving people strength to carry on. So what are Ukrainian folk songs like? We'll explore this in today's episode. Hello, I'm Nick Lisitsky, and this is the enchanting world of Ukrainian folklore, an educational series for those who want to learn more about Ukrainian culture and identity. Let's start with some interesting facts. Fact 1. Ukrainian folk songs don't have titles. A song's title is determined by its first line, known as the incipit. Fact 2. In Ukrainian folk songs, the melody and lyrics are equally important. You cannot fully understand or feel a song by simply reading its words. Fact 3. Variability is not a flaw, but a principle. The same song performed by different singers can sound different, and no version is considered correct or original. This is part of oral folklore, where each performance is a new, valid interpretation. Fact 4. Songs can be used to trace historical population migrations. When researchers find identical melodies in different regions of Ukraine, it confirms past migrations between those areas. Fact 5. Ukrainian ritual songs are unique because they preserve echoes of ancient rituals, containing symbols and imagery from Ukrainian folk beliefs. Once, these songs were prayers and appeals to deities and spirits. Today, they allow folklorists to study lost knowledge. Since our videos are educational, we provide definitions of key concepts in the theoretical section. According to the Great Ukrainian Encyclopedia, a folk song is a musical poetic genre of folklore, a form of collective oral folk creativity. Thus, the characteristics of a folk song are: 1. It is passed down orally from generation to generation. 2. It is created collectively and does not have a single specific author. Regarding the latter, it's worth noting that over centuries, many authored songs have become folk songs. In some cases, the author's name was simply forgotten. In others, a work was performed so frequently by different people that it became a de facto folk song. A vivid example is the well-known song Oi u luzі червона калина, Oh in the meadow the red viburnum. However, most Ukrainian folk songs are characterized by a collective creation process, where a song is born directly during a group's performance. This practice is aptly called weaving. A song is not written or composed, but woven like fabric, with each person adding their own thread, and the next thread depends on the one before it. This is why another hallmark of Ukrainian folk songs is their remarkable variability. So, how can we distinguish true folk songs from literary works that became folk songs, or folk songs performed by famous artists? This can sometimes be tricky. So some folklorists suggest a simple approach. If a village grandfather sings Хрещатик and knows it's a song by Pavlo Zibrov, it's not folklore. But if he doesn't know the author, having heard it from someone else with altered lyrics, then it's folklore. In other words, when an authored work spreads orally and acquires variations, it becomes folkloric. The oldest recorded text of a Ukrainian folk song is the ballad Dunаю, Dunаю, Чого смутен текеш? Danube, Danube, Why Do You Flow Sadly? Also known as the ballad about Voivode Stefan, dated approximately to 1571. This song was found in the Czech grammar book by Jan Blahoslav. The origin of this song sparked great interest among scholars like Ivan Franko and Mihailo Hrushevsky. It turns out that before reaching the Czech lands, the song first made its way to Venice, Italy, where a Czech named Nikodem memorized it from a traveling singer and brought it to his homeland. The earliest attempts at musical notation date back to the late 17th and early 18th centuries. and are associated with Zakhar Dyubarevich, a graduate of the Kyiv Mohyla Academy. In the 18th century, Ukrainian folk songs began appearing in various collections. By the 19th century, with growing interest in Ukrainian folklore, ethnographers and folklorists like Mikhailo Drahomanov, Stanislav Lutkevich, Ismail Sreznevsky, and Alexandr Potebnya began collecting and studying folk songs. However, among all folklore genres, folk songs were transmitted orally the longest, with human memory as their sole repository. This is why variability and improvisation are key features of musical folklore. There are no correct or incorrect versions. Each rendition is equally valid. Only at the end of the 19th century, with the invention of the phonograph, did the recording of Ukrainian songs using technical means begin. Yet even in the 20th and 21st centuries, Ukrainian folk songs have not become archaic. A folkloric work is considered alive as long as it is performed. As long as songs are sung, this form of folk creativity lives and evolves. Accordingly, new projects for researching and preserving folk songs continue to emerge, thanks to the enthusiasm of folklorists and cultural figures. These include the Polyphony Project, which digitized over 2,000 songs, the Digital Archive of Slobozhanщина and Poltavщина folklore, the Bozhichi Channel, the Digital Archive Ukrainian Folk Songs, and others. What are Ukrainian folk songs like, and what do Ukrainians sing about? The role songs played in Ukrainian life is beautifully illustrated by a remark our consultant, Natalia Kamenko, heard from a grandmother during a recent expedition. Nowadays, everyone's on their phones, but back then, we were all in our songs. Given the incredible diversity of Ukrainian musical folklore, classifying it is no easy task. To cover every type of Ukrainian folk song would require a separate, lengthy video. So, in this episode, we'll provide a brief general classification. Ukrainian folk songs are divided into three main categories: epic, lyro-epic, lyrical. Epic songs include Bilini, heroic tales, and Dumi, Cossack epic songs. Lyro-epic songs include ballads, chronicle songs, and historical songs. Lyrical songs are more complex, as they are divided into two subcategories, ritual and non-ritual lyricism. Ritual lyricism is further divided into calendar ritual and family ritual songs. Calendar ritual songs include kolydki, Christmas carols, shedrivki, New Year songs, vesnyanki, spring songs, haivki, kupola songs, and others tied to specific rituals or seasons. Ritual songs were a way of interacting with the forces of the universe, a kind of programming code, with each song having a specific function and time of year when it was meant to be sung. This created challenges for folklore collectors, as it was nearly impossible to convince tradition bearers to sing a Christmas carol in summer or a kupala song in winter. Family ritual lyricism includes songs accompanying family rituals related to birth, weddings, or death. Baptismal songs, wedding songs, and laments. Non-ritual lyricism is divided into family domestic and social domestic songs. Family domestic songs include love songs, songs about family life, and humorous songs. Social domestic songs include Cossack, recruit, hired worker, migrant, soldier, and chumak, ox cart driver songs. Dance songs, sung to accompany dances, prispivki, and kolomiki, characteristic of Western Ukraine, are categorized separately. You can distinguish folk songs from different regions of Ukraine by their dialect and musical composition, or more simply, their sound. Dialects are straightforward. Each region has characteristic words and expressions reflected in song lyrics. Distinguishing a song from Hutsulshina from one in Nadnipyanshina is easy for someone familiar with Ukrainian dialects. Performance is trickier. To sing a region's songs correctly, one must first learn to speak its dialect, as phonetics affects vocal production. Musical composition, or sound, is another way to identify a song's regional origin. Researchers have noted that Western Ukraine is characterized by monophonic singing, where everyone sings in unison without splitting into different voices. In contrast, central and southern Ukraine feature developed polyphony. In Polyssia, ritual songs preserve heterophony, one of the oldest forms of polyphonic singing. Online, you'll find many rankings of Ukrainian folk songs, top 10, top 15, or even top 20. These are subjective, as folk songs don't get radio airplay or top Spotify charts, and defining objective criteria among thousands of songs is challenging. But if we want to introduce our musical folklore to foreigners, which songs should we choose? How can we let people from other countries hear the uniqueness of our singing? In creating our ranking, we selected songs that reflect the musical traditions of different regions of Ukraine, creating a kind of musical map of our country. Since these songs may be lesser known, we've titled our ranking Top 7 Lesser-Known Ukrainian Folk Songs Worth Your Attention. Ой у полі древо, Poltava region. Біленька япава, Vinnytsia region. Ой лісу лісу, чому не зелені, Rivne region. Проведу я русалочки, Kiev region. Летіла галка з глибокої балки, Donetsk region. Вивів коня, Запоріжжя region. Ой дай Боже, Ivano-Frankivsk region. Which of these songs are you familiar with? Let us know in the comments. If you'd like to suggest your own ranking of Ukrainian folk songs you think the world should hear, share that in the comments too. We'd love to hear your thoughts. More information about each song and audio files can be found via the link in the video description. A song is a unique folklore genre. To feel and understand it, you need to hear it, as the lyrics are inseparable from the melody. The best way to explore Ukrainian folk songs is to listen to them on sites like the Polyphony Project. Links are in the video description. For those eager to dive into original sources, we've prepared a recommended reading list. As in previous episodes, we'll only mention book titles and authors here. A detailed overview is available in a separate article on our website, linked in the description. Sources and researchers of Ukrainian folk songs. Little Russian Songs, published by Mikhailo Maximovich, 1827 and 1834 collections, among the first compilations of Ukrainian folk songs. Songs, Dumi and Shunki of the Ruthenian people in Podylia, Ukraine, and Little Russia, by Anton Kotsipinsky, 1861, the first scholarly collection of Ukrainian melodies. Studies on Ukrainian folk songs, by Ivan Franko. Melodies of Ukrainian folk Dumi and folk songs from Galician Lemkivshina, by Filaret Kolesa. Ukrainian Folk Melodies by Kliment Kvitka, series of publications. Collection of Ukrainian songs by Mykola Lysenko. The goal of our project is not only to introduce you to the enchanting world of Ukrainian folklore, but also to the researchers who study it professionally. In each episode, we highlight scholars who consulted us and whom you can involve in projects related to cultural diplomacy, promoting Ukrainian folk heritage, or other initiatives requiring expert folklorist and ethnographer perspectives. In this episode, we introduce Natalia Khomenko. Ms. Natalia is a candidate of philological sciences, a lecturer at the Department of Folklore Studies at Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv, and a researcher of Ukrainian traditional culture. Natalia Mikhailivna focuses on preserving national cultural heritage, studying traditional cultural practices, their regional characteristics, and the specifics of reproducing authentic examples in secondary environments. She also leads the student folklore ensemble Roxolania and is a co-organizer and participant in numerous artistic projects and festivals. Friends, did you enjoy this episode? What new insights did you gain? Share in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video so more people can see it. Let's promote the enchanting world of Ukrainian folklore together.